Hi, I'm Dave from Military Antiques Toronto, and today I'm going to show you some of the items I've picked up, well, mostly today actually. It's been kind of crazy in here. It's been so crazy that I had to get an espresso. So, first off, nothing tremendously exciting on this one. Set of post-war Y straps. Whatever, German, they're Y straps. Why do I know they're post-war? Well, let's see. They're clearly dated 1962, and they're police Y straps. I guess they'd be great for reenacting, if that's what you're into, but they're not World War II German, so whatever. 1962, police, right clearly there. So there you go. That's one thing to get photoed and listed. German police belt and buckle. Unfortunately, it's totally polished down because it's aluminum. That's what happens, but someone did that. Just noticing the belt's dated 38. Nicely marked, actually. And the tab, which I looked earlier, is dated also 38. So let's see if I can get all this in the details here. So right there, it's dated 38. Of course, that's sideways, but you understand what I'm trying to show. Right there. And then, it's also hard to see there, but it is marked right there also. But most importantly, we have the buckle. And then on the buckle, on the tab, which is on the reverse, it's marked Dick 1938. CT Dickey, sorry, Dickey Ludenscheid. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but there you go. You know, if you felt so inclined, you could swap the buckle out. I wouldn't bother. I would just sell it as is, truthfully. You know, it goes together. It'd be great for display. And hey, it's been denazified, so it's politically correct, so you can show it. But whatever. The world's gone crazy, that's for sure. Then we have a, I'm sure, British fire helmet. How do I know it's fire? Well, it's red. It's got an F on it. Pretty straightforward, right? So, I would say it's British. I looked at this earlier. I'll look again. Maybe there's a bit better light now. It's been painted over, so it's hard to see any markings. I don't see anything in here. There probably is something on this liner. I don't like to play with the stuff too much. It's easier just to be straight with people and sell it. But anyways, there is a fire helmet. So World War II, possibly used post-war, probably used post-war. It's kind of neat, something different. Then we have a pair of gloves. So let's see, there's straight zip gloves, meaning straight zip here, and then there's angle gloves. If I remember correctly, the lore is that the angle zip were preferred by fighter pilot and the straight zip by bombers. You know what? The World War II RAF fighter pilot or bomber pilot gloves, or Coastal Command, whatever you want to call them, they're pilot gloves. What the thing is you have to look for on here, you're not going to find a match set. They're made in two different factories to prevent theft during the war. So you're never going to find the exact same color, the exact same finish, nothing. They're never matched. And inside, as I open the zips, let's see. It is named inside, and it's Air Ministry marked. So you can clearly see the Air Ministry stamp right there. In this case, it's named, I know, to a Canadian because of the J number. It's an officer's number. They're size 8.5. And let's see. Oh, and there's an AID stamp in there, which is, let's see if I remember correctly, it's Aircraft Inspection Directorate. Off the top of my head, that's what it stands for. Now let's see the other glove. Glove's really exciting, right? Well, whatever. Something different. So there you go, named to the same person with the J service number, size 8.5, Air Ministry stamp with the crown, and a bunch of other stamps. So there you go. So there's that. So those are kind of neat. And then you get other gloves, which, you know what? I want to say these are the straight gloves, but they're not in black. Why? Well, for starters, the Air Force used brown. Secondly, these are side zips, and they're lightning zips. So I really do not know what these are. There's a tag in them. Type E, 1943 large. So as you can see right there, type E, size large. And then you get the other glove, as I try and undo the zips without breaking it carefully, because they're old. This one is Acme Glove Works Limited, 1942, size large, type E. Again, now, my first thoughts were that these were dyed black from brown, but they're not, because if they were, this white tag would have been blacked out, and this white elastic would have been blacked out. So they're not dyed. People do weird things. I had battle dress pants that someone dyed black to push off his navy battle dress, and they weren't. I don't know why you'd bother. Sounds like work to me, but whatever. It takes all kinds. So what these are for exactly, I don't know. I'd like to say they're dispatch riders. I wouldn't go with that. Maybe they are. I really have no idea. I'm sure someone will reach out and tell me they're for pig farming or something. Who knows? More espresso. And then it seems to be RCAF hat day. I buy one online and then another one walks in the door. So let's see. That's one I bought online. This is the one that walked in the door. This is another one? Really? Another size 6 and 7/8? No, someone's been messing with my pile. I'm sure they did mess with my pile. Okay, so I already just sold this. And I sold it twice. Guy bought it. Was all concerned that the eagle looked like a chicken, seagull, whatever. And I'm like, well, it's a Canadian-made badge. It's a Canadian-made hat, sorry. So it's possible that it's just a variant. He didn't like the answer. I canceled the sale. It's not a problem. I sold it again instantly, so it's all good. I had another hat to show you, but someone mixed that up, so whatever. I didn't even look at this inside. It's a nice hat. It's a bit stiff. I don't know how much I want to play with this. I think I'm just going to leave that. I don't want to ruin anything. Nice condition officer's hat. Very nice, actually. Really good for parade. Tiny bit of moth nip there and there. Other than that, it's good. It's got the liner in it still. So, nice hat. So, that'll get listed this week, hopefully, if we can get to it. Too much going on. Then I got 2 Navy hats. So, you wonder why one's bullion wire and one's metal. So, the theory and the story is that the metal badges were Canadian Navy and the bullion badges were British Navy. Did we use these? 100%. I'm sure we did. Were these preferred by the Canadian Navy? Sure, because the ones you find are marked Stokes on the back. Sorry, Stokes? Scully on the back. Scully. This one's not. This one's made in Montreal. It's named to J. Lorette. So it's a Canadian cap badge on a Canadian-made hat. So that's nice. Hopefully you can get a good picture of that. And then you can see upside down. There you go. Naming on the inside. And it has a service number too. So that's kind of nice. And this one, it's a Canadian-made hat again. It's War Aid stamp. That's what that is. It's WA. And British-made badge. Not saying we didn't use them. I'm just saying that's theoretically what it is. So you can see the quilting inside, and which is a standard of good quality, at least in my opinion. And WA right there, which you find on a lot of material for War Aid. So I don't think there's a name in this. This one I'll touch because it's not so fragile. It's size 7 and 5/8. That's pretty big. Nope, this is virtually unissued. So there's 2 nice hats to get listed and processed. Then you have these flight suits. This one, you can just make out the remnants of the Army Air Corps stamp on the shoulder. And let's see. It's a type A4. Not bad. Good condition. Looks to be at least. Zipper's still there. Yeah, that's good. Here, I'll show the tag. Here, I'll see if I can get the shoulder in there somehow. Just visible right there. You can just make out Army Air Force still there. And then the tag. It's right there. It's a size 40. It's a type A4, proper to the U.S. Army Air Force. Actually, it says Air Force U.S. Army. So So that's kind of cool. It's got the chain still. That's nice. We'll get that photoed and listed, hopefully sooner than later. This one is a Navy flying suit. U.S. World War II. It's a tropical one, obviously, lightweight. Good knit, as they call it. Anything on here? No name tag. Nope. So this one says suit flying summer, U.S. Navy, and it's a size 36 short. You got to remember that they weren't that big back then. They aren't like they are now, so people were a lot smaller. So 36, 38 size is something that's common to find back then. So nice flight suit. I believe this is Korean War. I'm certainly not an expert on this matter. I didn't even unbutton it, truthfully, when I bought it. I should have. See if there's anything inside. Probably isn't with my luck, but that's okay. You never know. So it's a reversible, I believe. Nothing on the tag. No, it's washed out. I believe this is a reversible Korean War. We call it a combat shirt. I don't think the Americans call it that. Might be wartime. What do I know? I'm going to have to do some further research on that. There's only one pocket on here on the inside, and when it's reversed, there's no pocket. So, you know what? I honestly do not know. I'm not familiar with it. I do know it's US. Reversible. It's good. So yeah, I'm in. Something else to process. I got to figure out what that is and get it listed. And then we have a tunic, two tunics, same guy. Why do I say the same guy? Same place I got them from, same metal ribbons. This does not have service stripes on the cuff. This is obviously been used, tropical, and this is not. I'm gathering someone put some tape on here saying the date. Let's see. I didn't even look inside. Date. Well, why does he put September 40 on there? I don't see a date in here. There's no date in there. They're stamped inside. They're not. There's no tag in these. So, for Canadian made ones. So, Lieutenant. Kind of nice condition. I wonder if the belt's in the pocket. Let's find out. Probably not. They get lost one. No belt. All right. So there you go. Belt's missing. And then here's one. I'm gathering he was artillery or engineers. Depends on the flames, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7's engineers. I think 11's artillery. I don't know. It's one or the other. I always confuse it. Doesn't matter. I'm sure someone will correct me. Does this have a belt? It did have a belt. It's missing the belt. Let's see if there's a date in here. No date. No nothing. I don't think there's a name or a date in here, but again, Lieutenant, overseas stripes, tropical, summer dress, whatever you would like to call it. So that's what I've picked up. So follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Check out my website, militaryAntiquestoronto.com. This will get photoed sometime next week, hopefully, and then get listed when we get to it. If you're really interested, reach out and talk to me, before I get listed, because, hey, the goal is to sell the stuff. I'm not married to it. Thanks for looking. Hope you have a good day. Take care. Bye.